Welcome to the Lux Beauty Essentials learning channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to achieve a flawless natural look with your wig, and we will cover 3 essential techniques to achieve this blowout effect on your wigs. First, I'll be teaching you how to use a hot comb to achieve ultra flat and natural results on your wig. We will be using the Lux hot comb for this tutorial, and this hot comb is available on our website and goes up to 500 Fahrenheit, so that is super hot and perfect. You will also need a good wax stick, just like this wax stick that we have available on our website also, a good precision comb to get the parting nice and neat, some clips to keep everything neat, and a strong hold hairspray. So you can start with your precision comb to get your middle parting nice and straight. Likewise, if you wanted to do a side part, then just get that parting super straight. I like to use some wax stick just to keep the areas nice and neat, and you will see here I'm using a bit just to keep one side separate away from the other side. Wax stick is amazing for taming any flyaway hairs. Now here I'm showing you how high one side of the hair is. Now we want to get this area as flat as possible so the wig looks super natural on your head. Now this area I've parted away is the area where all the hair has a lot of volume, and we want to get rid of that volume so the top looks flat. This other area that I'm now showing you is on the curve of the head where the hair naturally sits flat. So if we start hot combing from that area all the way through that bulk, then we can get super flat results with the hot comb. And I like to start with a little bit of wax stick, and then I add some hairspray, and then I follow up with my hot comb on the highest setting. And with just one pass, you can see how flat we already got that one small area. So we're going to continue working our way through up that bulky area. I like to do it in thin, manageable sections, just so the hot comb can glide through with one pass. For each section, I follow the same pattern. I use a little bit of wax stick, follow up with some hard holding hairspray, and then I use my hot comb. And while I'm hot combing the sides, I also like to hot comb the baby hair area, like the front part, so it all blends seamlessly. I'm now going to speed up this section because I literally repeat the same steps, but once I get to the top part, I will slow down the video again because that part is crucial. Now for the top parting area, remember before we used a bit of wax stick just to tame that area. So all we need to add now is hairspray. Now the reason why you don't want to apply too much wax stick to the parting on your wig is because it will make it too greasy. So here I am adding a bit of hairspray, and I will follow up with my hot comb. Now here I am showing you how the left side looks so neat and so flat, and I will repeat the same steps on the right side now. One tip to consider when hot combing your wigs is that you don't always need to take out a big bulky section and follow this same protocol. You will only need to do such when your wig is very high volume at the top part. I'm now going to speed up the video just a little bit because I am following the same steps, which is a little bit of wax stick, some holding spray, and then following up with the hot comb. Also, as we're working with the frontal, it's always nice to hot comb the front baby hair area if you want that natural look. If you do plan on having baby hairs with your wig, then you could just leave that part. So this is how the wig looks once you've hot combed it to perfection. Now, step 2 is applying face framing layers to your wig. This is great for giving your wig a bit of movement, a bit of flow. It also adds to the blowout look. So first you need to grab your sharpest pair of hair scissors, and I like to grab a quarter of the wig. So on the left side, that's literally a part of the frontal and a little bit of the wefts from the back. I pull it forward and make sure that it's lined up with where I want it to start on my face, and usually that would be from the jawbone. And then I use short strokes to cut the hair in a downward fashion. always remember to cut away less than what you need to cut. So that way you can always go back and cut away more hair, because you don't want to cut away a lot of hair and then you can't go back. So as you can see there, I didn't cut away much hair, and that is great because now I'm going to go back in and cut away a bit more so it has more of a layered effect. Now this time around, you can see a way better slant when the hair drops. That is the layered approach we want to go for. And I'm also going to show you how it looks on a white background so it's a lot clearer. Now remember, this is just for face framing layers. If you wanted layers all over, you would pretty much follow the same protocol, but you would do it all the way around the wig. If that's something you're interested in seeing, then please drop me an email and I will definitely get that ready for you. So for the other side of the wig, I grabbed the same amount of hair, and then I am now comparing the starting point to the left side where I originally started the cut. Once I'm sure where that is, and another tip is you could potentially start a little bit lower than that starting point, just in case you cut away too much hair. I follow the same steps and I cut along a diagonal slant with the scissors, and I take very short slices whilst taking my time. Now here I am showing you how both sides look on a blank piece of paper, and this is another check I do to make sure that they're even. I take both sides equal amounts and kind of just compare them against each other. If anything is too long on one side or too short on the other side, then I will adjust accordingly. Now we're going to get into curling our wig, and the first step is to split your hair into two. So from the front parting all the way through the back where the wefts are, you will split the hair into two. On the section I'm working on, I will then take out a big chunk. Now the reason why this section is kind of big is because I will be using a very big barrel to get big loose waves, which will turn into the blowout effect. If I was working with a smaller barrel, then I would split that section into two. So for the curling process, I like to start with a good amount of strong hold hairspray. I spray that all over the section, and then I take my precision comb and comb that in. This is the secret step to preventing any flyaway hairs, the frizzy look, and also to make sure that the curl holds for longer. This is the big 2-inch barrel I will be using to get the blowout look today. I'm now going to show you how to use this barrel. There's two parts to the barrel. There's the bit at the top, which is the clamp, and then you have the bottom part, which is essentially the barrel section, and that is where the hair will be wrapped around it. So because I am now focusing on the right side of the wig, I will stand on the right side of the wig. It's probably easiest to do this all on a mannequin head. So first you need to take the whole section and clamp it at the bottom of the curler. Drag down a little bit and curl underneath. Once you've clamped that first section, you will need to press the releasing function and bring it down further, and then curl back up underneath again. Now for the third clamp, you need to press the release function again and get close to the end and curl back up underwards again. Now, depending on the length of the wig, you might need to do more rolls or less rolls. In this case, I've left a little bit at the end, about an inch's worth of hair, and I will show you how to curl that in after. This is totally optional. You can use extra hairspray whilst this inner holds, and I like to hold it for about 10 seconds. Now, once I'm ready to release, I like to bring the curler out of itself and to the side, just like this. And then I pull it out, press the releasing function again, and that way I can bring in the rest of the hair that was left out, and then I will turn it back into itself. Sounds complicated, but trust me, with enough tries, you will get it just like that. I hold in this section again for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then I press the release function and let go of the curl. This is the curl you should be left with if you're using a barrel this big. And in order to help the curl hold even longer, this is totally optional, but I like to use hairpins. And I like to pick the curl up once it's cooled down a little bit, fold it into itself, clip it away, and then put loads of hairspray over that section. And that is your first section all clamped away. Now you're going to repeat this whole process again. For the next row of hair, I like to take a similar thickness of hair and split that section into two. And again, you start with some strong hold hairspray, follow up with the precision comb to comb that in and blend it. And then you follow up with the curling barrel standing on the right side. You can now watch me complete the rest of this section with the video sped up just a little bit. So now we're moving on to the next part of the hair. So firstly, I like to part out the front area as that will be done last. And the sizing of the front section is about 2 inches wide. And once I've parted that away, the rest of the hair is what I will be working on next. You will notice that this section is like a triangle shape, and usually for the size curling I'm doing, I usually split this section into 2 again. Then the bottom part that is left after I've clipped the top part away will be split into 2 again. I then follow up with the hairspray, precision comb and curling barrel process. Now for the top area, I like to split it into 2 once again and follow the same process. Now with the top part left over, I will repeat the same steps with the hairspray, precision comb and curling barrel, but this time around I will angle that section falling more towards the face. And towards the end of the video you will see why this works. So you follow the same curling pattern but just angle it more towards the face. Now for the front, very important part, I like to split that into 3 manageable sections, and I follow the same pattern like what we just did, which is making the barrel face towards the face and in a downward fashion. This is the secret to having the perfect blowout effect, especially with layers towards the front of your wig. It really complements the face. Now we've completed the right side, we're going to work on the left side. So we're going to follow the exact same steps with Stronghold hairspray, precision comb, the curling barrel, and the same sections and rows just like the left side. The only difference this time is that since we're working on the left, we're going to stand from the left and we're going to curl with the curling barrel from the opposite direction, just like how we were doing it on the right side, just like this. And this should be your final results with all your pin curls once you've successfully curled all the hair on your wig. And if you feel like it, this is the time to add some extra hairspray before you pull out all your pin curls. I suggest letting the hair cool for as long as possible. So if you can let it cool for a day, that'll be amazing. But if you only have 10 minutes, that should be enough time for the hair to be completely cool before you brush it out. Now to brush it out, I first like to use a wide tooth comb just to see where I'm at with the waves. And just so you can imagine how the wig would look on yourself, for instance, I've put it on a mannequin head. In order to tame any frizzy hair or flyaway hairs, or just to set your parting in place so it looks more polished, I like to use a little bit of mousse on the parting area. Here I am using the Luxe Melt Mousse, which we do sell on our website. And then after that, I like to use my slick brush. And before you can finish playing with the wig, I like to use a bit of finishing serum, which adds some shine and makes your hair smell amazing. Once I'm done using that, then I know I can use my comb or my hands to just fluff up the hair and get it looking how I want it to look. And here I'm just showing you the two different ways your hair can fall in the front. So on the left side, it's more face framed, and on the right side, it's more pushed back. I decided to have both layers falling into the face of the mannequin head. But before the end of the tutorial, I have a very good tip for you. And you will need a fine tooth comb like the precision comb, and you can comb out the layers in the front. That will give the blowout fluffy look and help the hair flow more seamlessly. And that is how you achieve the blowout layered look on your wigs. Thank you so much for watching, and please feel free to send me an email giving me feedback or if you have any questions. Until next time, take care.